hoping my speech will be a lot shorter than yours, John, because this spotlight's pretty bright. I'd like to take the opportunity to speak to you briefly on the work outputs of one of the new portfolios that the CEO has just mentioned, and that's people and strategy. The outputs from people and strategy are really about the key drivers to support business unit leaders across council to continue to deliver effective and efficient service delivery across all four portfolios. Overall, through a 3D approach, which is disciplined, deliberate and determined, people and strategy portfolio is driving an agenda to support agility and transparency across all people and workforce management matters. Through this 3D lens, the people and strategy portfolio is able to support business unit leaders to develop, enhance and set clear lines of sight on how their people are to deliver on council strategies and, more importantly, deliver optimised service delivery outcomes. What we know is it's important to have individual position responsibilities well defined, communicated and measured. This will ensure optimised service delivery outcomes to all residents and ratepayers. Our people will know what their role is and what their role isn't, and will feel and breathe big picture of what the new portfolios are here to deliver, including how they are to deliver their services. On the back of position responsibilities, the people and strategy portfolio are supporting the portfolio and business unit leaders to set clear, measurable performance targets that builds individual clarity into every role in council. Offering supportive development opportunities for increasing skill development and competency enhancement across a range of critical capabilities ensures that we can deliver effectively on individual, team and business unit outcomes. A range of leadership and managerial development products and services to inspire our leaders to be their best is part of the landscape of the suite of services of people and strategy. These are being designed and delivered in-house. This ensures our leaders are equipped with the broad suite of people management and leadership skills they need to meet and fulfil the immediate and future requirements of a growing and diverse resident and ratepayer base. This is where our focus is and must be. Our council is diverse in its service delivery, and delivering quality services is where our people thrive as we support them to build this capability to empower and make a difference in their work area. Growing and developing the skills that are needed to meet our growing service demands in the community will see council craft a culture of continuous improvement and change readiness, particularly to achieve individual ownership of their outcomes. Furthermore, where all employees will see the value in working in a constructive and consultative way, which supports what John, you alluded to before, with a one council approach to optimise service delivery outcomes. Finally, striving to support business unit leaders for them to achieve a workplace culture where their people are engaged, motivated, and continue to deliver services effectively and efficiently to our community is at the heart of all things people and strategy, and that's our 3D approach: disciplined, determined and deliberate. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. I now like to introduce Deborah Howe, who's our General Manager of Customer and Regional Prosperity, just to update the group here today. So over to you, Deborah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mayor, councillors, CEO, executive staff, and most importantly, the community that we serve. It is my very great pleasure to stand before you today as the General Manager of Customer and Regional Prosperity, but more importantly as a resident new to the region, and to be part of driving the sustainable and prosperous region that's being envisaged here today. Part of the process to establish the required structure and strategy that guides the efforts of council and the community is some of the underlying strategies that we need to develop. Today I'm just going to outline a few of the things that are within my portfolio that are key to some of the deliverables that we're working on. Firstly, the regional prosperity strategy. As such, council is embarking upon a fresh approach through developing a regional prosperity strategy and have engaged Lucid Economics to support the economic development team over the coming months in undertaking this project. Comprehensive stakeholder engagement will be crucial and is due to commence early in the new financial year. Based on market research to identify the opportunities across the entire region will inform the development of this strategy. Fundamental to building this is the sub-plans already in place, such as the Scenic Tourism Strategy 2017 to 2021, which is also currently being reviewed, along with the development of the recently Australian Government-funded Adventure Nature-Based Tourism Strategy. Also on Council's radar is the development of the Scenic Smart Region Strategy, which will lay the foundation to capitalise on the digital economy and grow the region's capacity and capability. These strategies are intended to provide the strategic direction that builds on the amazing natural assets of the Scenic Rim, and I personally commit to you all today that they will never become a dust-gathering document on someone's bookshelf, but rather they will be living, breathing documents that we will strive to deliver on a daily basis and guide the future prosperity of this region. Another project, the Beaudesert Business Park. The expansion of the Beaudesert Business Park in Enterprise Drive, enabled by the state government and council funding, will produce a light industrial precinct that supports small to medium-sized industry development. Council is pursuing this project to address the lack of available suitably zoned industrial land and to drive jobs growth with the profile of employment that aligns with the region's demographic. This is a very timely expansion and due for completion in June 2020. So please, if you have a burning desire to expand in the region and are interested in land, then we have a deal for you. The Brommelton State Development Area. This important strategic site, which has promised much and is acknowledged as not having delivered its best to date, is firmly in council sights. It is not appropriate to set and forget this important state development area, which is long overdue for proactive development. To drive this, Council has recently established the Brommelton Steering Group with the Department of State Development, Manufacturing, Infrastructure and Planning and the Office of the Coordinator General, which now meets monthly and is aimed at removing the roadblocks and solving the issues and mediating the actions required to open up this land. In the coming weeks, Council is re-establishing the Brommelton Reference Group, which will include Council and relevant government agencies, landowners and businesses currently established in Brommelton, with the aim to address the challenges, explore those opportunities more fully and drive the development of this land. Home to some of the region's innovators, the large footprint is perfectly placed to attract equal calibre businesses to value add and drive jobs growth here. In facilitating the way forward, Council is also lobbying hard to address the impediments of the Mount Lindesay Highway, which is crucial to supporting Brommelton as an intermodal hub of South East Queensland. However, at this stage we are struggling for support. And as the Mayor so eloquently puts it, watch this space. Regional Skills Investment Strategy that was mentioned earlier. The objectives of this strategy is, in the Scenic Rim, is to identify current and emerging jobs in targeting industries to ensure there is supply of skilled local people to meet demand. You heard the Mayor mention the desires of our young people earlier to stay, live and work locally. The state government has provided 2 years of funding to Council to employ a coordinator of regional skills investment strategy project for this project, which is currently being recruited in fact. The coordinator will lead the project and will identify suitable training pathways and strategies to address gaps in local service delivery. Also, a local project reference group will be established, including members from the business community and our chambers of commerce and our local employers, which will be established to guide the program to ensure the objectives and project timelines remain focused on employing our young people. engaging with local industry and community to identify the training needs and issues experienced locally, and developing the appropriate solutions in partnership with Council and our funding support from Department of Employment, Small Business and Training will be at the centre of the delivery of this project. This is about connecting suitably trained locals with local jobs and thereby foregoing the dreaded commute to work on a daily basis. And finally, Eat Local Week. As the Mayor has mentioned, and I think set me a challenge earlier today, which I can assure you I am up to because Brenda's sitting over there and I know how good she is at her job. Building on the success of the 2018 Eat Local Week, this year's event is going from strength to strength with a wonderful program of events that will be held across the diverse and eclectic range of venues with some of the region's most passionate and progressive producers and growers. This is not to be missed. Council has established some new media partnerships this year, and the recent coverage in the Courier Mail with the Eat Local Week program being also inserted into the Sunday Mail in May, supported by the recent television coverage with Great Day Out and the live crosses that we've seen for the weather with Sunrise and Today Show, has seen unprecedented coverage this year of the 2019 event. I'm absolutely confident we will beat the figures that the Mayor showed earlier with over 37,000 people coming last year. We are more than going to outstrip our population this year. No pressure, Brenda. I call on the whole region to support this much-loved local event. Our hard-working producers and growers deserve it. Grab your program today from the back and ensure that you have filled your dance card with the gastronomic delights on offer across the Scenic Rim. Loosen your belts for what is about to be a smashing 9-year celebration that is only at the heart of this amazing region. So in closing, as I said, this is really just a small snapshot of some of the things the Customer and Regional Prosperity portfolio is focused on. Nonetheless, it is a great privilege to serve our community as General Manager of Customer and Regional Prosperity, very ably supported by a capable and dedicated team. And I look forward to meeting and working with all of you into a more prosperous future. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Deborah. And just to note, there will be an opportunity at the end for questions if people have some questions, burning questions in their minds at the moment. I'm happy now to introduce Chris Gray, who's our General Manager of Asset and Environmental Sustainability, just to update the gathering here as well today. Over to you, Chris.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon to you all. As my title suggests, I look after all things assets. So I'm actually going to concentrate mainly on that with my discussion this afternoon. Council continues its commitment to good asset management principles through the continued development of processes of operating, maintaining, upgrading and divestment of assets in the most efficient and effective manner. This means improved operational efficiencies through the continued investment in asset management technologies, reviewed process delivery and improved resources, which are all tools utilised to deliver best value for money outcomes within specified budgets. Continued investment in improvement in transport infrastructure is key to enhance regional economic outcomes, whether it be for tourism or industry. Council currently manages assets nearing $1 million using 2017-18 financial values, with $726 million of this being transport-related assets, predominantly road and bridges. 2017 saw some of the worst flooding in parts of this region had ever seen. Ex-tropical cyclone Debbie's impacts were felt through the whole community. It affected Council's transport assets, in particular its unsealed road network. Council could have developed and continued to develop a list of, Council has developed and continues to develop a list of identified trouble spots that when funding is available, Council has improvement plans to lift the asset standards to better cope with the impacts of adverse weather. I want to talk to you about the opportunities realised as a result of the volume of work required to repair Council's unsealed gravel road network. Initial estimates were that we were facing the need to place over 500,000 tonnes of gravel on this element of the road network. To put this in perspective, our annual placement of gravel on this network is somewhere between 75 and 100,000 tonnes annually. Also, that sort of volume would fill Suncorp Stadium about 1.5 times. We took this opportunity to work with local quarries, which I noticed our group here today, to expand on an already recognised gravel material blend that was not like any other utilised within this region before. The blend, although at times a little harder for crews to place and a little more expensive, provided the reward of being more durable to impacts and provided a longer interval, or is currently providing a longer interval, between the need to reshape via grading. At the same time, Council took the opportunity to reshape the formation of these sections of unsealed road, which allowed for better draining of the road surface, which also aids in adding to the life of pavement. I must at this point acknowledge the federal and state government's support of restoration of public assets after this event, as under the natural disaster funding arrangements, they foot the majority of the cost of the restoration, being split 75% federally and 25% to the state after Council pays initial trigger point contribution. Also, I must acknowledge the Betterment Program, also funded by the federal and state government, with contributions from Council. Under this funding, Council achieved the improvement of assets at 80 locations, ranging from stabilised gravel pavements in repeatedly damaged locations, either adjacent to floodways or streams, to the replacement of damaged timber structures with whole new timber bridges. To give you some perspective on that, we had some projects around the $10,000, ranging right through to $3 million. And overall, we were able to secure just over $10 million through that program. And also to put that into perspective, statewide there was only $40 million available. To reiterate on what I said earlier, a continued concentrated effort within sound asset management principles allows Council to take every advantage of opportunities when presented. We will continue to realise the benefits of the aforementioned work and will continue to work toward converting the allocated budgets to improve service delivery outcomes to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Lastly, we have Oliver Pring, General Manager of Council Sustainability. Over to you, Oliver.
Thanks, John. Thanks for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome. It's truly a pleasure to be able to speak at today's 1920 Budget Forum and to be able to offer an insight into some key considerations with formulating vital strategic council plans like this budget. So I've prepared a talk, so hopefully it will keep you enthralled for the next 4 hours. Sorry, I've been told to keep down to 5, so I'll focus on the key details, but if you do want a detailed presentation, I can schedule one in. What my talk will entail is going through a couple of aspects considered behind the scenes, but certainly play a key factor in determining sustainability foundations of the budget now and beyond. But before I do that, I'll just follow up with what John mentioned before in regards to the Refresh and Refocus program and some of the examples of the activities that have come up in my area of responsibility. As part of my portfolio, Council Sustainability, I oversee the procurement supply function for Council, and having come from a small rural community, Council previously, I'm passionate about driving the economy and the partnerships Council can forge with local suppliers in the region. I think I've already eaten at almost all food and fast food places around the region. I've certainly come to a great activity with Eat Local Week, so I'm looking forward to that. This financial year alone, to date, we've expended over $80 million through creditors and various suppliers and contracts. Of this, around 28% has only been spent on local suppliers within Scenic Rim. We certainly want to explore the options in driving this percentage higher. Small initiatives that the team have explored include partnering with local chemists rather than sourcing through a Brisbane-based supplier to source our sunscreen and mozzie repellents. We've also partnered with a local business to stock geotech fabric that we use on Chris's road construction works. These two examples alone equate to around $50,000 per annum. While small, it's a small step. And as John has mentioned, we've refined our process to streamline the payment of our creditors from comments that we've received personally. This has been a factor as to why some local businesses were reluctant to do trade with council. So as we continue to drive the local content, a recent campaign actually advertised today was calling for the tender to invite local suppliers as an invitation to list for light vehicles as part of our fleet operations. What this enables is that by council following legislation, when it comes to procurement, it will allow us to invite local suppliers to compete with non-Scenic Rim suppliers on existing state and local government arrangements. And personally, I've sourced 2 vehicles locally and I couldn't fault the customer service and the competitiveness of that supplier. And we'll progressively roll this process out to call for the establishment of other lists throughout that are available throughout the region. Now back to the budget. I want to mention the recent Queensland Treasury Corporation's credit review in council, and John touched on previously. Whilst the sound credit rating may sound a little bland, it essentially means that council's capacity to meet its financial commitments in the short, medium and long term is sound. And having a neutral outlook means that there's little likelihood that there's any spikes or any changes that's going to affect that rating. What this review gives residents is a validation from an independent external party that Scenic Rim Regional Council is well equipped to provide the services and to build the infrastructure required to support current and future residents. And this has been achieved in part through the strategic direction of the Mayor and Councils through measures including maintaining tight control over operating expenses, investing in infrastructure in order to support enable growth in the region, and maintaining adequate debt servicing capacity and moderate levels of borrowings. More importantly, what this rating provides is certainty that council, should we seek to borrow money for future critical large-scale projects, QTC are more than likely to approve our borrowings. Some of the key factors that QTC use to assess when providing council credit rating are legislative ratios measuring council's performance now and forecasted into the future. These ratios, and there's a number of graphs that I can explain later if people are interested, include measures of operating surplus, asset sustainability, and net financial sustainability. And whilst this year we adopted the deficit, we could have easily normalised that result through cutting of allocations for essential council programs and or increased rate percentage. However, with sound long-term financial forecasts, we're comfortable that with the result, it minimises the impact on ratepayers and the residents of the region. I'll just go through a couple of slides. What you'll see on the left there is a comparison of Scenic Rim's debt level compared to other councils within the South East Queensland area. Scenic Rim is a little orange bubble. The size of the bubble is the extent of the debt, and the horizontal axis is the debt per capita. What that indicates, and this is 17-18 because we haven't finished the 18-19 financial year, is that Scenic Rim, the debt per capita is just around 500. You wouldn't want to be that big bubble, and from the release just in the Courier Mail just then, that's increasing by another $1 billion as Brisbane City Council adopts their budget. Okay, secondly, in regards to land valuations, undertaken in 2018, whilst this revealed a massive spike in property valuations across the region since the last valuation 3 years ago in 2015, for residential primary residents alone, this saw a 23% increase in valuations, or around $440 million on all rated properties in that category. These results certainly reflect several factors that the Valuer General considered, including market rates, sales trends, and proximity to current urban growth areas. The fluctuations were certainly a key reason as to why Council introduced this 3-year averaging last financial year for factoring the property valuation increases in order to manage the calculation of general rates in an equitable manner. The proposed 2019-20 rate per dollar figure for the residential primary places residence properties should demystify the myth that just because property valuations go up as being an indication that Council will increase the rates by the same ratio. You'll see that over the last 5 years, with the trend in the property valuation, Council actually adjusts the rate per dollar so that what we ascertain as a certain revenue is mandated by obviously the average rate increase. So you can see in last 5 years, the rate per dollar has actually decreased. Council have actually expressed concerns to state government and in particular the Value General and requested the region go back to having annual valuations, but this at times has fallen on deaf ears, but will persist. Finally, whilst this sees the adoption of the 2019 budget, the process doesn't end there. We'll focus now on commencing the 2021 and look at further ways through zero-based budgeting that we can find efficiencies and savings like those mentioned before. Just the other day, I identified savings of around $30,000 on Council's insurance premiums, just through querying our current levels of coverage with the insurance company and finding things that we didn't really need to insure. So that was an easy one. That was just one off the bat. And as John has already mentioned, we'll roll out further the zero-based budgeting to the other areas of Council. The zero-based budgeting this year, while we focused on certainly 5 areas of Council, that only represented about 10% of the overall expenditure. So the ability to roll out to the further amounts of Council, hopefully that should give us a potential bigger savings and efficiencies. And just finally, as Chris mentioned, with Council managing close to nearly $1 billion worth of assets for the community, we need to effectively juggle the renewal of these assets whilst managing the community's expectations. And working with a relatively low rate base is always key in delivering an effective budget. Thank you.
Thank you to John and the team. Any quick questions? I'm just conscious of everyone's time, but if there's a burning question. While you think about that, I'm going to ask everyone to stand up for a moment. I understand this physiological process that as you sit for a certain period of time, the blood shifts from your brain to that part of your anatomy that you're using while sitting, and therefore brain function declines. So I do want you to be able to join with the rest. So please stand up, shake your legs, walk around your chair once, sit back down.